Hello everyone, this is Mechkhanic with Mechkhanic Labs. Today we're going to start our Season 1 of the Elder Scrolls III Morrowind. This is the third installment of the Elder Scrolls primary series. It was kind of a cult classic back in its day before Oblivion really opened the doors to the mainstream, leading into Skyrim and now into Elder Scrolls 6. That is such a big deal to any fan of the series, which there are numerous fans now. Personally, Elder Scrolls 3 was my first look at the Elder Scrolls back on the old Xbox series, so I am really excited to get back into it. It was a very hard RPG game. It didn't really pull punches. A lot of the systems were a bit unforgiving, honestly, but that makes it all part of the fun. So I do not know all the secrets, all the maps. I only got through maybe about half of the main plot line back in the day when I was playing it back in early high school days. So we're going to try and get through it. We're going to run the faction quests. We're going to get into some material that is even new to me, so it should be a lot of fun. I'm also going to be trying to get off the beaten trail and see a lot of the hidden little niche dungeons that just make this title so much better, have so much flavor. So without further ado, let's get into it. I will try and explain the systems a little bit as we get on, but I'll also try and be brief and let you guys just enjoy getting into the actual systems. Each event is preceded by prophecy, but without the hero, there is no event. In the waning years of the Third Era of Tamriel, a prisoner born on a certain day to uncertain parents was sent under guard without explanation to Morrowind, ignorant of the role he was to play in the nation's history.
They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison, first by carriage and now by boat, to the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up. Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Mechkhanic.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go. Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
WS, standard movement keys.
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
Use the spacebar to access your doorways.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and I'll show you to the census office.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where.
From the Imperial prison! Alright, so racial selection, you have your standard races, your Argonian, Breton, Elves, Imperials, all the way down the line, Orcs. So for this run through, I really am looking at playing Argonian. Morrowind, being an island nation, does have a lot of underwater areas to explore, and the Argonian just really is the best suited for that, as well as having its disease resistance, 75% for common diseases. Still doesn't give me any bonus to supernatural diseases, which do play a fairly major role in the main quest line, but for common diseases, really is useful just to not get them. Also grants an immunity to poison. In the later series games, this is considered to be kind of a useless trait. In this game, when there actually is a poison element that some of the spells can throw around, it does have a little bit more of a little bit more than a niche use, and I do find the Argonian's poison resistance to be useful. And then most importantly, the water breathing. It's a 2-minute water breathing spell. Does cost 5 mana. but it is well worth the usage for it and gains access to a lot of stuff that even the regular water breathing spells through the spell system don't give you the bonus of having for duration and spell cost. So, see, I do not like the default set, so let's change our face. Let's change our hairstyle. Hey, cool. Found the one I liked already. Usually I have to scroll through a few, I just start going the wrong way. This actually is my favorite Argonian head. Yes, I'm a little biased. We're going to run through it. The Argonians are nice. The athletics give us better swim speed, better running speed. There is no solid fast travel system in this game. You have a few carriages and boat systems that give you a limited form of fast travel, but you have to pay for it. So when you can walk between areas, it is maybe not more time effective, but it definitely saves you some money, and you can go broke using the fast travel system in this game. So, other than that, we have alchemy, illusion, medium armor, mysticism, spears, and you do have unique weapon skills for almost every type of weapon in this game, which is something I would love to see them bring back in the later series of Elder Scrolls that are coming out in the future. Get the sense that they're going to stick with their blade and blunt styles that they've shifted to, though. Anyway, and unarmored. So, we're going to go ahead and choose that.
Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
Alright, it actually is a pretty cool class generation question, though you get your more basic classes. Ranked info is like Oblivion's pick from a class list, and then personally I'm just going to fill out the forms myself because I know what I want to play style-wise. I don't know if this has any relevance to Elder Scrolls lore, but I do enjoy calling my Argonian warrior classes blood scales. Oops, and I totally misspelled that. Blood scales. Or blood scale. It's a combat-based strength and endurance with a focus in spears, medium armor, athletics, mysticism, and restoration. Mysticism for the teleportation spells and telekinesis abilities that give me some ability to access and detect things, as well as restoration, giving me obviously the healing ability or ability to boost my stats in a pinch if I need it. Over here, we're going to go with axe. We're going to go with unarmored. Then we're going to do our production skills. So let's see. Alchemy. Oh, and the other two are filled in for me already. Alchemy, armor, and enchanting. Those will help me as we get into the mid-levels, and having those minor skills just gives me enough to keep them going and get them started. So we'll run with that.
Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
Fans of the Elder Scrolls series will recognize all the signs here. A little bit different from Skyrim, because we still have our ability stats, so you're going to see some of them offer things like stat boosts instead of being just like experience boosters like Skyrim does. And those who played Oblivion more will notice that the stat boosts seem pretty intense on this one, but part of the way this game was built, a lot of your characters actually start out with pretty crap stats. So having these boosts here actually bring your character up to having a reasonable combat stat to start. In my case, with the build I have, spears and medium armor are both endurance based, so definitely going to be looking at Lady's Grace for the endurance factor. Argonians are actually considered a slave race in Morrowind. I know they're not like to many other provinces, but they're an actual slave race in the Morrowind province at this point in the Elder Scrolls history, to my understanding. So the personality, Argonians naturally have a very low personality score, and I'm pretty sure it's due to that piece of lore. So it's nice to have that boosted. Lets me at least interact with people on a normal level. So we'll go ahead and do the lady.
Interesting. Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct.
Alright, so Mechkhanic, Argonian, blood scale warrior of the lady. 45 health, 40 magicka, 195 fatigue. That's actually really, really nice. That's going to give me a lot of staying power. So good strength, really nice endurance. As you can see, even with those 25 boosts, my personality only went up to 55, and my endurance did jump to 65, which is a little higher, but I think that's also because it's one of my primary stats selected, so I really stacked on it. Spear and medium arm, both 40, which is respectable. Athletics are 50, that's going to be awesome. My magics are in the 30, and then my other skills productions are all more or less in the 20. Enchanting, just got a bare boost to 15, just barely enough to make it even worthwhile. And everything else down the line is fairly low. All your skills, and I'm starting with the spells of Hearth Heal, which is at 20 to 80 points on self-heal. Detect Creature, 50 to 150 points of Detect Creature on self. Now this works like a mini-map skill, so I get little circles or triangles, I forget which, on my mini-map when I'm looking for creatures. I do not get the glow auras that both Skyrim and Oblivion started using. I do really like the glow auras more, but in this case it's useful as long as you know how to use it. Water breathing for 120 seconds on self is that racial ability again. So, sounds good. I now have a stats menu. Woot! I can now right-click to access my inventory.
Show
Nice.
your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Alright. My papers are right here. Press spacebar to look at them. And I love the fact that stuff you enter in the game does actually appear inside your documentation. This will, with the fact this is a very text-based talk system as you get into the game, it's actually really, really nifty because you're going to see your name, race, class, even if it's custom spelled class, show up here and there in conversations you wouldn't expect it to in the other games where they actually are paying the voice actors to do it. So, with that,
Through to the next building and talk to Celis Gradius.
alright, we're going to talk to Celis Gradius. Alright, learn how to use combat. Pick up the dagger on the table, activating it with spacebar. Alright, so weapons in Morrowind. The weapon skill actually determines your accuracy for hit more than anything, and the weapon's damage is determined by the weapon and by the style of attack you're doing with it. The dagger is not the best example because it's pretty even across the board. Chop, slash, thrust are three different attack styles based on how you're moving. Standing still, you chop. Side to side, you're slashing. Forward, backwards, you're thrusting. And that can affect your damage, more so with other weapons, but that's how it runs. So we can equip the dagger by right-clicking. You equip an item by picking it up and dropping it on your character. And push F to pull out your weapon and use it. And fatigue for power attacks and other things. So we'll pull our dagger out. You can see we're thrusting, chopping, slashing. And the longer I hold down the mouse, the stronger the attack is going to be. The more it's going to push it towards that maximum damage, basically. To a point. But unfortunately for me, you can't really see the stamina usage because my fatigue is just so high that stamina doesn't get applied for a weaker weapon like a dagger. So anyway, let's see what else we have on the table here. We have Apprentice Lockpick. Let's try that. Equip lockpicks in the inventory menu, just like weapons. Try lockpicking the lock on the small chest on the shelf behind you. Okay, so take the lockpick. We're going to put that on instead. Alright, and wielding it like a weapon. And there's the chest, lock level 1. Ooh, we got it in the first try. Lockpicks have about 20 uses, and you can burn through all 20 uses trying to get this lock open. I've actually done it before in previous games. 31 gold. Alright, and I'm going to quickly loot the rest of the room. So, be right back. Alright, so we have looted the room. I did leave the note on the table just because it is a fun little piece of lore. I mentioned before, there's some lore in this game. I think I mentioned before. If I didn't, I mention it now. There's some lore in this game that doesn't follow a quest line per se, but it gives the world a really rich flavor. This note is kind of the first of those pieces. Remember, this had the dagger stabbed into it when we first walked into the room. So, Hiskar, don't think I've forgotten our wager. I want this dagger sharp as a scamp's claw by morning. Gansicle. Or If you know how to pronounce that name better than I do, please feel free to mention it with your phonetics in the comments. Love to be, well, not per se be corrected, but I love to at least politely or nicely be able to say these names correctly, and I am really bad at these names. So please go ahead. If I mess any names up, feel free to let me know in the comments. Love to hear from you. All right, so put that lockpick away and let's head on out. Alright, so now we have our mini-map available, and notice down below you'll see the little boxes on the mini-map in the bottom right. Each of those boxes is a doorway to a subzone, building, dungeon, cave, something like that. It's actually kind of handy to be able to see, because you can see when you're close to one that you may not have noticed already. Alright, you now have a mini-map, and the arrow in it shows where yours truly is facing. Hoot hoot. Alright, let's go through the door here. Check the barrel on your left and get the ring inside. Oh, I almost forgot about that. It's been a while since I played this, just getting this booted back up to run this video series, actually. So there is a magic ring in this chest, or barrel, excuse me, an engraved ring of healing, and when it's used, it casts Restore Health for 1 to 5 points on self with charge of 20. So we'll go and put that in. You know what, let's just take it all. Like all menus, right click to open your spell menu and see your active magics. Press R to ready your magics. So now that we have the spell menu open, and I've already shown you a little bit about how this menu works, you got your mini map up here, your world map up here, so decent sized world. Alright, you can see the passive effects that we have running right now, which are the ones I mentioned before, your disease resistance, poison immunity, and the lady attribute. It's nice that it does add those star signs or any other buffs you get, doomstones, anything like that. Alright, so currently I don't have any powers exactly. I do have spells, which my Argonian water breathing, which is normally considered either a passive or a power in most other games. In this one, it actually is just a basic spell for you that you have access to as an Argonian race, which gives it certain advantages, honestly. Power is going to be used once per day, like an Orc's Berserk. A spell like water breathing can be cast over and over again as long as you're willing to pay the cost. Over here on the right, with all the spells, and this is what I was actually getting at, you can see the cost in the first, and then the chance in the second, and I'll get to that in just a second. So your cost is the amount of mana your spell costs, obviously. Water breathing is nice. It only costs 5 mana. I have 40 mana, so most of these spells I can cast about twice. Maybe 3 times if I get really lucky. Before I'm out of mana. Your mana does not regenerate in the same way as Oblivion or Skyrim's does. You actually have to rest to regenerate your mana. Spells are extremely powerful in this game, both for you and against you, but they are limited in the amount of usages that a character can do due to the fact their mana does run out fairly quickly. Even a spellcasting character only gets 5 to 6 spells at early levels a day before their mana is just gone. And they have to rest up or use Magicka restoring potions to bring them back. So, that being said, chance. And this is where, again, Morrowind differs from the games that followed it. Spells have a chance of successfully casting. So, in this case, Hearthheal here has a 71% chance of casting. Every time I cast a spell, it will eat the 13 mana, it'll go to cast a spell, and then it will determine its chance based on a 100% roll. Anything up to 71, it casts a spell. Also means I have a 29% chance of not casting the spell successfully. If that fails, I've already used up the mana, but the spell fizzles. So the higher this is, the better. The more fatigue you have, percentage of your bar, the better your casting chances. Right now, these are the highest casting chances I have on these, and that is due to the fact that my magical skill levels are only in their 30s. So as those increase, as I cast more and I get more of that spell's stat level up for the actual skill that is based on mysticism, restoration, these chances will get better to the point where they actually are 100% if I'm at full stamina, and will slowly decrease as the stamina goes down. So, good to know. For the engraved ring and the enchanted magical items, similar, they have a 100% chance of casting. It just matters how much it costs and what charge maximum is. So as you already saw, it has 20 charge points. You can see that on the bar. What that little pop-up doesn't tell you is how expensive it is to cast. In this case, it costs 4 charge points to cast it. 100% chance of it triggering, though. So I can only cast this spell 5 times. and that'll heal me 1 to 5 points per cast. So it's actually a pretty weak little magic ring. Now you can have it recharge for a small cost or through soul gems, so it can have its uses for thief-based classes, but for heavier warriors or even mage classes, it's not as useful of a ring. You can get similar effects from your healing spells as well. So we're going to go ahead and move on from that and finish out our tutorial. We need to talk to the captain. We use spacebar and enter the realm of text-based conversation. First, let me take your identification papers. Thank you. Word of your arrival only reached me yesterday. I am Celis Gradius. Or however the guard said it earlier. But my background is not important. I am here to welcome you to Morrowind. Now, everyone's going to recognize the list on the right with the different options. This is similar to Oblivion's or to Skyrim's options. The nice thing about Morrowind is, though not all the options will appear in the main chat bar, if you're on a direct line of conversation, you actually can have these appear. Not only that, it saves the log of conversation. So, Morrowind. Yes, you're in Morrowind. I don't know why you're here, or why you were released from prison and shipped here. But your authorization comes directly from Emperor Uriel Septim VII himself, and I don't need to know any more than that. When you leave this office, you are a free man. But before you go, I have instructions on your duties. Instructions from the Emperor, so pay careful attention. So duties. This package came with the news of your arrival. You are to take it to Caius Casades, and please, again, correct my name pronunciation. Love to see the right names. In the town of Balmora. Go to the South Wall Corner Club and ask for Cassus. They'll know where to find him. Serve him as you would serve the Emperor himself. I also have a letter for you and a dispersal to your name. Now, I'm an ex-prisoner. Granted, I was born in prison, but doesn't that mean I didn't serve the Emperor? Not to the point. Maybe Cassus will have something that's useful for me. Maybe it'll be worth my time. We'll see how it goes. If worst comes to worst, I'll disappear into the wilds of Morrowind. The Emperor will never find me. I'll be a free man anyway, even if I'm on the run. Alright, journal's been updated. Directions to this guy's house have been added to my inventory, as well as the package, and they gave me 87 gold to get started. Cool.
Keep moving.
Alright, on we go. Press J to access your journal, review what you've been told. You should probably check out Ariel's Trade House on the left. You're on your own now. Good luck. Alright. So let's go ahead and check out the Trade House. Alright. Ariel's Trade House, you can see the signs here. Now, the trick is, this door here is locked level 70, but notice it's labeled as back door. So the house is actually facing oddly backwards in this town for some reason. Coming up and around. Here's the front door, wooden door, non-locked. And we walk in, and here's Ariel. Welcome to Ariel's Trade House. I barter for goods and coin. I also have a small selection of spells for sale. No credit. You want a little advice? That's free. That's all that's free. You would like to hear about... would you like to hear about our popular potions or most popular scrolls? No, I think I'll go ahead and go straight to bartering. So this here is how much people like you. 52 is not wonderful, but it's not horrible. I should get an okay price. At this point, I'm going to save the ring by putting it on myself. Oops, no. Come back here. Okay, I can't. Anyway, I'm going to sell everything but the dagger and the ring. The ring could come in handy later. It's not great, but it helps in a pinch if I don't have magic. So, or magicka left over. So let's go ahead and sell everything else. Alright. So, we're down to 5 pounds of weight, and we have a total of 173 gold in selling power right now. 118 gold on ourselves, and Ariel has a total of 800 gold that he has. So, however, we have no good equipment, so let's get ourselves equipped. Alright, so I like these two pieces the best, personally. And you notice we just switched from sold to cost. So now we are eating into our own gold, and we want to be a little careful there. Alright, so I think we can get him bartered down a couple points. We can't go very far. 2, 3 is pushing it even, so I'm only going to go with 2 down, 2 lower at this point. Let's take the offer and see if he'll accept it. He did not. He does not like me that much. Okay, 1 down? Yes, he did accept 1 down. Alright. That's why this is so important. You can get, if you can get that close to 100, you can get 3 or 4 or more if you get higher amounts. Anyway, so we have our equipment. Let's get ourselves equipped. We're going to equip our ring. We're going to equip our halberd. And we're going to equip our armors. So there we go. We now have an armor rating of a whopping 7, which could cause us problems, but we'll get it better. Our halberd with a nice attack. Still a good bit of carry weight available. And a solid set of spells. Alright, and I think we're going to finish off the tutorial here with a nice little view of Sadanine's Harbor. Mud crab there in the foreground, show off the local wildlife, probably some slaughterfish swimming around the water. So, on our next video, episode 2, we're going to look at exploring some of the local dungeons, try and get at least 2 of them in through it. If we have some time, we may go off the beaten trail and explore some of the local area, see if we can get ourselves in trouble and possibly even killed in dungeons that are probably outclassed for us at this level, but that's half the fun of the game, so we're going to give it a shot. Thank you guys for watching this. I hope you really enjoyed it. Oh, look, there's our new armor and our blocky look of the character. So, again, shift back to that scenic view here. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed the video, please give me a like, subscribe to see more episodes. We're going to be putting out 2-3 episodes a week as I have time around my full-time job, and hopefully letting this channel take off with Morrowind Season 1, and see if we can go further on. Maybe if this takes off, may do some fan favorites. If you like to see another build, another class style, I'll give it a shot out in Season 2, again, if this all works out and takes off. So, with that being said, please like, please subscribe, please leave me a comment. If you know anyone who's an Elder Scrolls fan, please share them a link. I'd love to see some guys on here who know Morrowind. As I said, I have not gotten through the whole quest line, so please do me the favor, don't drop me any spoilers as we get into the faction quest, as we get into the main quest. I'm actually going to really enjoy exploring this with people and just getting lost along the way out in the big wide world of Morrowind. With the fact that the fast travel system is as wonky and expensive as it is, I like to do a lot of walking. So we will get lost, that I can promise you. Anyway, this is Mechkhanic with Mechkhanic's Laboratory. Thank you for spending the time with me today, and we'll catch you next time.